Hello, and welcome back to Leaguing Out. As always, I'm your host, Cybershine, aka Thorn,
I'm your favorite host, Laney.
and we are back with another episode for you. I think we have a fun one here. I think we got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about.
Certainly hope so.
Um,
That's what we hope every time.
you know, um, we just love recording for y'all. We love yapping and having y'all be like, now, what did you mean by that? And then we go, I honestly don't remember. I don't remember why I
What do
said
you
that.
think we meant by it? We're English teachers now.
Yeah, it's an analysis piece. Um, and on that note, I think we should dive right into our first segment because I think this is fun. Um, so you and I both have a tendency when talking about books or characters that rather than taking the time to be like Iron Man or Captain America, we'll just talk about them like we're best friends. I'll be like, Tony and
Me and
Steve,
Steve, Jeff and
Me and
I,
Bruce.
you know.
Um, and I think the reason I wanted to talk about this is that I think it's a fun psychology about the way, excuse me, the way you think about a character. Because for me, the reason I gravitate to it is because um I think calling them by their superhero name is better if you're talking about like more broad, like the history. Like I would say, I
Mhm.
don't know, like in Immortal Hulk, we get to see Hulk change from blank to, like
Okay.
whereas like I feel like using a first name is like more personal and when you're talking about that they're like character traits or that sort of thing.
Okay.
That's at
I
least my
see.
thought process.
I see. I see that. So definitely, but I don't know. There's also a part of me that says it's just comfort because it's so hard to maintain a level of formality with characters that you're referring to often. Like we talk about comics too much, I think it's fair to say.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. So at some point, it becomes weird to be referring to every character at a formal level when we're doing it this much.
I think that's definitely part of it, and it's just a mouthful, right? Like if
Oh
every
yeah.
time I'm talking about, I don't know, he's a random,
If we're talking
I
about
don't
Moon Knight,
know, Moon Knight. Yeah, I'd rather just say Mark or Jake or Steven.
we both got the same pull, and you know, fair enough, honestly, for us. But with some characters like Moon Knight, you do get to the point of how am I
I think
referring to them?
this is kind of a pet peeve. I don't like that on League. Moon Knight, like so you know how like Batman, and then it'll be underscore Bruce Wayne,
Bruce
right?
Wayne, Matches Malone, all that. Yeah.
I would really prefer, and it would take a lot of work, but I would really prefer if it would be Moon Knight, and then depending on the issue, the specific like who's fronting, because it is
Hmm.
different
Okay.
depending on the issue. Like Vengeance of Moon Knight, the original, not the recent one. The original Vengeance of Moon Knight is a very Jake heavy book. It's mainly Jake
Yeah.
in the driver's seat for that book. Compare that to the Jed McKay run, where it's mostly a Mark book. And
Mhm.
I don't think it's like crucial, but like it is something I would hope to see one day, personally.
That makes sense. Like, yeah, it would be a lot of work. And at some point, it gets to the are these different characters that you're listed? But I definitely understand that having them as characters rather than aliases.
Well, and I think
Granted,
again that's why I call them by their names, right? Is that it's
yeah,
like it's not just Mark's alters or Moon Knight's alters. No, it's like Jake is a character, Steven's a character. I would even extend that to like Hulk in Bruce's alters. It's like Joe
yeah,
Fixit isn't the same character as the Hulk.
who isn't the same as Monster Hulk?
or Savage or Green Scar
Yeah,
or Devil.
they're all distinct.
I will say, and I think this is kind of part of the storytelling aspect. It is always something interesting to me that like they don't really have like formal names. Like it's all like blank Hulk, you know. I guess
Mhm.
Joe is the one exception, but like that's always been something interesting to me. God, this
But, you know,
turned into a
he's
tangent.
Joe.
This turned into a tangent about talking about DID representation. Um, oh wait, actually, speaking of, I hate calling Two-Face Two-Face. I prefer calling him Harvey. I really
Harvey.
don't like
Mhm.
calling him Two-Face. Um,
You know, probably the character who I'm the most adamant on calling by their real name rather than their
hmm.
aliases. Akihiro.
Well, yeah, because that's
Considering
that's
that
literal.
his quote code name is just a slur.
Yeah, it's just an actual slur. Like, okay, very cool. What if they called him Gaijin for a bit? I think that'd be a little funny.
Uh,
Like if that was his code
on
name.
a note, what's her name? The Birds of Prey character. You know the one I'm talking about. Cynthia Reynolds.
Yes. Yeah, we can't really call her by her code name anymore.
Because of woke.
Well, but then there's like, they were able to fix that with the one Spider Woman supporting character.
Mhm.
Um, I don't remember her
They
new
did
code
not
name.
fix it for Cynthia.
Because she used to be like Blank Moth, right? That used to be her code name.
Yes.
Um, which is a real species. So I would even get the argument of not changing it because it's like, well, that's the name of the species, the moth. But they did change it. I just can't
I
remember.
think for the better.
Yeah, no, I think it is too. God, this really did turn off into a tangent real quick. Um,
Characters we don't call
that's
by
what
their real names.
characters I don't call by their real names. Ooh, wait, one more of real names though. I love calling him Bruce because it ruins the mystique, right? Like Batman is too much power. It really brings him down to be like, fucking Bruce.
What about Brucey?
Like, yeah, like yeah, anything like that.
Mhm.
Uh, characters I don't call by their real name.
You
Uh,
gave me one of the examples before we started recording.
I've always thought Slade Wilson was silly. I just call him
Okay?
Deathstroke because I've like Slade. I've never met somebody
Call him
called Slade
Slade.
in real life. Yeah, like that's
And I haven't met people with half the names in comics, but I still go with it. Like, why not? Slade's fine. Plus,
uh
it makes me feel like I'm being a disappointed friend. Like, Slade, you're abandoning your daughter again. Your
that's
son's gay.
true.
Did you know that, Slade? You left him behind and tried to kill him and his friends.
That's true. Um, what else? I don't know. I can't really. I mean, like, okay, like it
What about the
genuinely.
X-Man in the room?
Oh yeah, Cable. I mentioned before recording. It seems like in general that Nathan prefers to be called Cable. Hope refers to him as Cable. His own father calls him Cable. It seems like less of a code name and more of like a chosen name, um, which is both funny if you had
Mm-hmm.
canon Cable is queer, like I do, but also the
As
fact he's
everyone
a part
should.
of, well, he's a part of Clan Chosen, right? That's the name
Mhm.
of his family. So of course he
Yeah.
has a chosen name. Very gay. Just like a lot of subtext. Maybe Initiates is really good at that gay subtext.
Mhm. I mean, also with Cable being Cable rather than Nathan, there are just so many Nathan Summerses running around.
Yeah, there's too many. Well, and then there's the even bigger elephant in the room. Um, and not to like call people out, but like I've talked about Strife, and people are like, "Oh, what's his name?" And I'm like, "Strife. He doesn't have it." That's part of the tragedy of the character is that he doesn't have
Mhm.
a name. He only has his persona of Strife. Honestly, kind of similar to what Rachel had going on when she was it a
Hound.
hound? Yeah, when she was a
Yeah.
hound. Um,
Let's see. I'm trying to come up with any example of characters that I don't just call by their first names.
this doesn't really count, but I refuse to call him anything other than Mad Jim Jaspers. Like, you won't see me calling him
Yeah,
Jim. You won't see me calling him Jim
Jimmy,
Jaspers. He is Mad Jim Jasper.
Jimmy J.
Yeah, you're not gonna catch me.
Yeah, I can't come up with like any for me. They're just basically all. I'm on a first name basis with everyone. I'm just that casual. Like, is there anyone? Raven. Raven. I'd call Raven more than Rachel. I think.
Yeah, but Rachel's more recent, right? That's more recent.
2003.
Yeah.
2004, actually. I should remember it's the same issue where Stephanie Brown's Robin in Jeff John's Teen Titans. So there's your fun fact for the day. Is that in the same issue where Connor is fighting Steph because she's quote a fake Robin, Raven's going, "Hey, I'm gonna be Rachel when I'm at school by
You can
being
rest knowing they've
however
got your
old."
back.
Like Raven is definitely she's supposed to be the same age as like almost the same age as Dick because they were had
Yeah,
a
same
thing
age as Dick,
going.
yeah.
But she's going to high school in the Jeff Johns run.
Well, I mean, you get a lot of weird de-aging with the Titans over the years. Cough, cough,
Yeah,
Beast Boy, cough, cough.
off Rebirth Teen Titans
Rebirth Teen Titans, yeah.
when
Remember Red
Wallace West
Beast
and
Boy?
Raven were dating. No,
Remember
we
Red
don't.
Beast Boy? You know who does remember Red Beast Boy? Tate
Pepperidge
Brumble, and
Farm.
he's a gut for that.
Mhm. Remember when Raven and Wallace West were dating for a minute?
I do.
Someone at editorial
Um,
okayed that.
ooh, that's a thing. Um, honestly, I mainly do it to annoy people. I love calling Avery Ho just Flash, like over
Mhm.
and over again to
Oh, that's
piss
enough.
people.
Yeah. Oh, we're going with that type of thing. Then there's Hawkeye and there's Hawkeye Clint Barton. You've got Spider-Man and Spider-Man Peter
Miles, yeah,
Parker.
Spider-Man. Um,
Always specify when it's this straight away thing. You've got like Green Lantern, you got Green Lantern, you got Green Lantern, you have Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner,
you
and
know that
Green
clip where
Lantern
it's
Hal
like a
Jordan.
straight white man, and then he does like the evil laugh. That's how I
Mhm.
feel. That's how I feel when I do that. I think with that we should pivot over into polls because I don't know about you. At least I have more polls than I usually do. I think I have 5
I have
this
less
week.
than I usually do.
Oh, that's right. You only have 3.
Yeah.
See, we
And
pre-planned these.
a half I'm still not sure of.
Okay. Do you want me to start since I have more, or do you want to go first since
Sure,
you have
go ahead and
less?
start.
Okay, so like almost everybody, I have the Superman Spider-Man #1 on my poll list. I was really hoping to get a variant cover for this, like I did with the last crossover. But I'm gonna be honest, I was not feeling most of the covers this go around. So that's $1 extra I get to keep in my pocket. Um, but that's not my pick. I am excited for it though. It looks fun. Inglorious X-Force #3 is coming out. Very excited for this book. I've been consistently impressed with the writing of this book as well as its respect for the history of X-Force. I've made it. I don't think we've made it a secret here that we both really didn't enjoy the last X-Force that they did with Forge and Betsy and Rachel. Like that
I
book
like
was
that team
weird,
Rachel.
but it was a weird book. It was a weird book. I don't really know
Mhm.
why. It should have been honestly. It should have been gone by a different name. I think that's my biggest
Yeah.
one. Is that you see
What, do you
X
think it
Force
should have
on the
been
cover
Excalibur?
or something? I don't know. Or a new name even. I don't know. It just felt very weird to be X
No,
Force.
it's from the Ashes. We don't do new names. We don't do anything new.
Honestly, ironically, this one has like the subtitle, right? It's Inglorious X Force. This feels more like an X Force volume than the last one did
Yeah.
by a long shot.
Honestly, take
Yeah,
the old X-Force. Long doesn't end in this. The North Shadow stuff. Take the old X-Force and just call it Excalibur with the E at the end, like the Age of
sure.
Apocalypse
Like they did in
Excalibur.
Age of Apocalypse, sure. But this is also not my pick of the week. I'm excited because it's a Boom Boom issue, but it's not my pick of the week.
Boom Boom, my goat.
I am picking up Flash number 31, which will be the beginning of the Ryan North Flash era. I love Ryan North. I've talked about him a lot on the show. I think he's a bold new voice in the industry. And I've wanted to read a Wally book that feels like Wally for a while. I think we've also mentioned on the show. I tried to read the Spurrier run, and I literally skipped a whole issue and didn't realize it till like 2 issues later. Um, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. That's a sign of bad quality, in my opinion. If I can fully skip an issue and like not realize I'm missing any information, like straight up, like get better. That's bad. I don't. Um, do you remember how far you got in that? Because I know you're reading it too.
Badman Rising is where I dropped off.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad because I love Cy Spurrier. I do. I just don't think his style of like meta and depressing really works for Wally. So I'm excited to see Wally go back to his roots. But again, not my pick of the week. Absolute Wonder Woman number 18 is coming out. Very excited for this book. Consistently a highlight. Has been the winner of the pick of the week for a couple times now. And as much as I'm excited for more Absolute Zatanna, unfortunately not my pick of the week. My pick of the week is Absolute Martian Manhunter number 10.
That's fair.
I love this book. I love this book so much. I think this arc has been a bit different than the first one. Some ways better, some way worse. But I'm excited to see where it's going. And I love that, like, okay, because here's the thing. From a narrative plot point, like, you'd think stuff would be getting better for John after, what was that, issue 6, right? That was right before the hiatus? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd think with issue 6 things would be getting better because he's done personal growth and he's realized he was being kind of a dick to his wife and like whatever. But I kind of like that things are still shitty for him because that's how real life works. Is that sometimes like you do grow as a person, but that doesn't mean everything's magically fixed and like you get to live a happy life. There's something like very like brutal and realistic about this, and I appreciate that. So that's why it's my pick of the week. I'm just very excited to see.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like, can you say man failure? I feel like there isn't really a good male equivalent of girl failure.
Failure.
Yeah, I guess just failure. That's how I feel about John. He's a failure. But like I like watching him fall, I guess.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. He's a flop. That's the better word, I think. Flop versus failure.
Yeah, flop.
For me, like I said, I've got 3.5 pulls this week. I'll start the half. Thinking about pulling tech. We'll see. I like Ollie, and I might be buying this just for Dinah and for him.
And it's Tom Taylor, so it might be a preview of things to come if rumors are true.
I don't know. It'll be a spur of the moment decision when I'm in the shop, but at the rack.
I'll report live. I'll report live on whether or not she grabs it.
So that's my pick of the week because I don't even know if I'm going to be grabbing it. Up next, I got Uncanny X-Men 25. It's a book that's happening. I hope that the Outliers are doing things because the Outliers are awesome. But it doesn't seem like it's a very Outliers heavy issue. So, womp womp. Wiccan, which is Road. This is the penultimate issue of Wiccan. That's weird but exciting. I'm really excited for next issue because I'm happy to see the Young Avengers show up. This issue I feel like is me being like, okay, I'm gonna buy this because I want to get to the end rather than I want this exact issue. So that's not pick of the week. Pick of the week's gonna be Absolute Wonder Woman. It's Absolute Wonder Woman. What did y'all expect from me?
It really is that good.
I'm a simple girl. I see Zatanna and Diana and I go, Lebanese.
This is my free avenue for you to talk about this on the show. You've been in the Yuri world a lot recently between this and your other recent
Not
edition.
that much because I've been reading the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, which for here on out just Green Yuri because the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. Is annoying to say over and over again.
It
But yeah,
is everything symptomatic with bad anime.
yeah, I read the first volume of Green Yuri this past weekend, and I really enjoyed it. It was really cute. It was a slow burn, and I was very impatient the whole time, but I really enjoyed it. And then earlier today, I went down to get volumes 2 and 3, and the Barnes and Noble I went to was having buy two get one free. So I also have Dungeon Meshi Volume 1.
I'm gonna send you my favorite example of an anime slash manga with too long of a title. Check
Oh,
the chat.
oh boy, this is going to be certainly something.
Would
I'm
you
going to
care
read
to
it
read
live
that
on
out?
air.
Yep.
Do you love your mom and her two-hit multi-target attacks? That's not that bad, honestly. Nice.
I just think it's so funny. Do you love your mother and her two-hit multi-target attacks?
I do.
I do love my mom. Not the way that character does though, because I've seen that.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it is.
that's a that's an Oedipus thing going on.
Yeah, it's a little Oedipus going on.
Although, actually, I'm going to defend Oedipus. His whole thing was that he didn't want to marry his mom.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's a Freud thing going on. We'll say
I
blame
was gonna
him.
say it's famously like Freud misunderstanding a story. I will also say he is very similar to Oedipus. The main character of that book is trying not to be in an Oedipus complex, but
Okay.
literally every character in the story, including his mom, is pushing him into an Oedipus situation.
Oh, wow. That. Hmm.
And under a better writer, maybe it could have been interesting. I'll tell you right now, it is not interesting.
Yeah. That I don't even know what to say about that other than yeah.
Do you love your mother? Not that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Not in that way. Shout out to my mom
You
who
know,
doesn't listen, but
you know how I would not describe that series? You know how I would not describe it?
how would you not describe it?
I would not describe it as a modern classic, which is a great segue
Mhm.
into our next topic. Um, so as always, I like to give you guys the behind the scenes on how we come up with our various segments. Um, a recent
Getting really tired and overstimulated and doing whatever we can to talk
That's
about.
also true. I was gonna say, what was it? An internal memo? Was it a solicit? I don't even know where this piece of information
I
came
don't know
from.
either. I saw someone talking about it on League.
I'm going to say memo for lack of a better term. So there was recently a memo that was going viral about how Ryan North's Flash is going to be the equivalent of Tom Taylor's Nightwing run,
Dr.
and
Wally.
but for Wally, yeah, which some people were really excited about, some people really didn't like describing a book that way. That's not really what we're going to talk about, though. What we're going to talk about is the fact that we are already seeing that book used as an example as a character defining like run, right? Because that's basically what they're trying to say, right?
Oh yeah.
They're trying to
Yeah,
say
it's
this is going
trying
to be
to
like a new jumping on point slash reinterpretation slash defining run for the character.
Mhm.
And
And
yeah,
also though, the Nightwing run, obviously for a lot of people is the definitive Nightwing. But to others, they're like, this is not the Nightwing I love. This is completely out of character and is not the things that I want to read and enjoy reading. So that's got some people worried about this Flash run too.
and that's certainly something to be worried about. I would say though, where I'm coming at it from is in the sense of, well, I was reading that run while it was coming out. Like, is it really old enough to start being like, this is like what you should define your book after? And so that's kind of what inspired this segment, is that I wanted to talk about like a couple, I'm using huge air quotes
Specifically
here.
specifically from a list that we made to talk to our
Yes,
club about a while back. This is us
of
of like
modern
the 2 years.
classics.
This is
Yeah.
us 2 years, or that's from 2 years ago that we called modern classics. So seeing how our opinions personally and opinions on the run as a whole and all that have changed.
So we have
Because
two
our opinions
separate
on
lists
comics have
here.
changed. I was gonna say our opinions on comics have changed quite a bit over the past 2 years as we've
Yes.
read more. Honestly,
Um, I'm gonna skip around to stuff that we actually have opinions on because I will say there's
okay,
a couple things that I know neither
we
of us
just
have
clearly
read.
just threw in to fill time.
Yes. So right off the bat, Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil. I mean, yeah, it really is that all that. I'll,
It's
I'll
definitely
say it.
it's definitely the best recent Daredevil run, considering it
Well,
started almost 10. It started almost 10 years, 2018, right?
no, Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil.
Wasn't it?
Actually, hold on. You're about to make me feel super old if it's true. No, 2019.
2019.
2019. Yeah,
Okay, so it's still coming up on 7 years old. It's over
Christ.
7 years old. Issue one came out in February 2019. So yeah,
God.
it's
Oh,
over
that
7 years
hurts.
old. And then there's like 3 years of, well, no, it was only 2 years of whatchamacallit, of Ahmed Daredevil.
Of Ahmed's run, and now we're getting ready for the Phillips run.
Yep.
Oh, that makes me feel old. But yeah, I would say that book. I mean, I again, like, I don't know where it's gonna go, like 20 years from now or whatever. But like in the almost 10 years that it's been around, like, yeah, that
How
book
do you
has
feel saying
definitely
that?
cemented itself. I don't like it, but I'm gonna
The
try to
almost
suck
10
it up.
years it's been around?
Yeah. Speaking of books that have almost been around for 10 years, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
I think, yeah, it's all that. They're making a movie off of it.
They're making a movie that we're both very excited for. Um, I know people have their thoughts about Tom King, but I think even his worst haters read that book and they're like, all right, this is pretty good. Um, Billiquist Everly's art is beautiful. It's some of the best art I've
Mhm.
ever seen. Um, yeah, I mess with that heavy. Uh, we have unbelievable Gwenpool on this. The Gear Hero
Yes.
and
It
Thompson, right? Was Thompson the writer on that?
No, it was not Thompson.
Who is that? Who
Hastings.
wrote that?
Good for
Thank you.
Hastings.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't read
it's
that
all that.
one, but well, actually, no, I've read bits and pieces of that run. I liked what I've read.
So it's
I'll say
good.
that
You
much.
need to read it.
I should. This one only you can talk about because I haven't read it. Flash 1 Minute War.
It was fun.
Would you call it a
And
modern classic though?
of Flash stories, there's not much competition.
That's true. Up next we have She-Hulk by Rambo Ralph. Have you gotten around to this yet? I can't remember.
No, I have the first like what 4 or 5 volumes is sitting on my desk that I'm borrowing from someone,
Yes.
and have not gotten around to read them.
I've read the first, at least the first two. I've maybe read the first three. I can't remember.
I should
I
get to
love
those
it.
considering I was able to read all of Green Fury recently. You know,
I really like it.
priorities. You know.
I think Raul has a really good voice for She-Hulk. I think it's very encompassing
Mhm.
of the character's history. Um, I think a lot of the art is just some of the best we've seen of She-Hulk. Yeah, I would definitely say this one.
Mhm.
Up next, we have Batman Superman World's Finest by Mark Waid.
Yeah,
I would say so. I love this book. I think it's really damn good. Um,
definitely. Fantastic Four by Ryan North. That's got relaunched, but still absolutely deserves it.
I mean, like, especially that early stuff, like when it's just like the one-off
Uh,
stories. I mean, that's some really good Fantastic Four. Here's
and now
a
that
for
we're
a
back to kind
controversial
of
one.
those.
I could tell this is a younger us. Green Arrow by Joshua Williams.
I had not read really good Green Arrow at that point, and also we didn't have the Condone run to
I was
compare
gonna say the Condone run
modern
didn't
Green Arrow,
exist. Yeah.
because when we were writing that was the most recent he'd had since his rebirth ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Canceled, I want to say, like 2018, maybe 2019 at the latest.
Yep.
So we were like, okay, yeah, this is fun, this is good. But like, if I was reading this now, I'd put well, it's not ongoing anymore, but Condone is better. Arcadia is probably better. Let's see.
He's barely in
Like
it, but Siren's love hurts.
Mm-hmm. If we want something that fills the canary role, that's another thing that I have on here is Birds of Prey by Kelly Thompson. Which
now that I'd still defend. Yeah. I mean,
yes, absolutely. I need that.
It's a modern classic. The one thing I'll say, we were just dogging a lot on the Williamson run. It's not bad. I would say
it's not bad. It's Wayne Family Adventures if you want to do Green Arrow.
I was gonna say it's a very rare example of Green Arrow slop. It's a very rare example of Green Arrow slop. Like, it's just like Green Arrow for the sake of Green Arrow, rather than like what is Ollie thinking and what does he do?
Yeah.
Do you just want to skip NYX? Just not address the NYX.
Have kind of soured as time goes on, because
it
didn't really do anything.
Yes. We already talked about Birds of Prey.
Wasn't that good.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. Birds of Prey.
Yeah. Momoko. R.I.P. But yeah, it deserves it.
You haven't read it, but yeah, Incredible Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson is honestly the only book that I've read that ever even gets close to Immortal Hulk, and that's counting Immortal Thor. Because like I love Immortal Thor, it doesn't feel at all like Immortal Hulk.
It started like it was trying to be Immortal Hulk for Thor, and then decided no, I'm going to be Immortal Thor instead.
Yeah, to its benefit for sure, but that's what I like about Immortal Hulk. Or excuse me, Philip Kennedy Johnson's Incredible Hulk is that it's hitting a lot of the same beats, but it's also doing new stuff that I like. We have another Tom King book here. We have Animal Pound. I really liked Animal Pound. I thought it was pretty damn good.
I feel like it'd be hard. I don't know. The way with how quickly the political scene has been developing, I don't know. It is very clearly written for that one moment.
Yes. No, it would definitely be a book I'd be curious to revisit right now.
Also, I'd say reading Animal Farm is just better.
Yeah, you should just read Animal Farm. Please don't watch the new movie. Yeah, PSA. Please do not watch the new Animal. We will watch it for you, and we will review it on the show, so you don't have to watch it. The pigs drive Teslas. What are we doing? What's going on? Why are the pigs driving Teslas?
Because woke or something.
Because woke or something. Yeah.
That movie will be out right after we graduate. Right before we graduate, we could watch it as a celebration of our graduation.
Yeah. Wait. Because when is that coming out? Animal Pound or Animal Farm? No, not 1999. That's the good one.
May 1st. I looked it up.
It's coming out May 1st? Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. Do you have anything to say about Doctor Strange on McKay?
Cut tragically short.
McKay is good.
But yeah, cut tragically short because Jed McKay has too much shit going on right now. But genuinely some of the best Doctor Strange content we got in a while. I would also include Strange in this, the book where it's Clea as Doctor Strange. That book is also really good. So as like a whole package, because I think they're printing that as a Omni.
They better be, yeah.
Where it's like Death of Doctor Strange.
Strange, and then it's the Doctor Strange run, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Also, while I have you here, Death of Doctor Strange, I know it sounds stupid and it didn't last that long, but like genuinely one of my favorite books. I love Death of Doctor Strange. I thought that was a really fun series. Strange solving his own murder.
It was pretty new. Yeah.
Strange solving his own murder is such a fun, like, only in a magic book could you do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Titans by Tom Taylor.
Basically, take everything we said about Green Arrow and say it again.
Well, and then add to it the fact that it was followed up by one of the worst Titans run. Yeah. And like you can't blame writers for other writers' things. I will say though, I don't think the Layman run would have happened without the Taylor run, and that does annoy me.
Mm-hmm. The Taylor run in many ways is exactly what the Bromwell run that just started is critiquing.
Yes. Well, and even more so the Layman run, right? Because it really is just like, oh, the Layman run was terrible, isn't it?
Well, I'd argue no, because the Layman run was trying to appeal to some common threads, but it was trying to do a story of its own.
It was just a very bad story.
A bad story and using lots of nostalgia, lots of elements of, oh, it's these characters that I know from these. And
don't you just love this character?
The Taylor run was kind of beat for beat replaying some of the biggest hits.
I was gonna say there were moments in New Titans. What, New Titans 25, right? Is that the name of the issue?
33.
Yeah, that felt beat for beat like the Taylor run when they were like criticizing older. And I was like, that's crazy because that just happened, you know?
Mm-hmm. So I feel like overall, we did a pretty decent job picking these. There are probably some that I would pick now that weren't on my radar then at all. It's something that I started since then that would definitely make it, like Power Fantasy. Some books like Marian Heretic, Mary Sue.
Assorted Crisis Events. I know it's nowhere near it's nowhere near over, but alrighty. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's Power Fantasy, hopefully. Because in general, we did have almost no indie books on here. And the fact that Animal Pound was the one indie book we could come up with at the time. And and then we also had Radiant Black, which, have you read Radiant Black? I haven't.
I've read the first issue. That's all I've read.
So the fact that we put that in there, and Beneath Shoes When Nobody Sees does deserve the spot.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that because I know you haven't read it yet. Yeah.
But overall, on the indie front, we did terrible.
What's some other newer? Conan by Zeb Wells. I know Laney's probably rolling her eyes, but
yep, can you hear them rolling?
A little bit, yeah.
Good.
It sounds like the generic like stone sound effect from like like a video game or something.
You know what else what other books you got in here? Half of the Absolute line.
Oh yeah, I could put most of the Absolute books.
You're saying most? I'm saying half. Interesting.
Well, because like Superman for sure. I feel like Superman really has brought the character back to its roots.
Because my first book was Wonder Woman.
Well, for sure, Wonder Woman. Martian Manhunter. I would throw Flash personally, but that's also coming from someone who hasn't read a lot of modern Flash stuff. So
Green Lantern probably can make it. I'm still very behind, but I bet it could.
I mean, it's Al Ewing. That's what for our Yap session. Let's just talk about how much we love Al Ewing. He's the GOAT.
It's just because you've been reading his Defender stuff lately.
I've been reading Defenders and Ultimates and Absolute Green Lantern and Mortal Thor and I mean the new issue of Mortal Thor alone, right? Like,
oh yeah, the Arrow flew.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, like no writer is flawless. Even some of my most favorite of writers have written stuff I don't like. But here's my thing with Al Ewing. Even when he writes something that I'm not like 10 out of 10 on, I can at least appreciate what it's trying to do. I didn't really like Absolute Green Lantern that much, like the first issue. I thought it was just okay. But, like, even then, I had a respect for it. I was like, you know what? this is a story that like just isn't for me, but like he's putting, it's not like he isn't putting in the work. He always puts in the work. Even on
Oh
a
yeah.
concept that like I don't like jive with, I'll be like, wow, like you're really, trying here.
His Guardians
What the
run
Oh
was
yeah, I need to
incredibly
read
out
it. Like,
there, but every nothing he did in it made sense in a way that I loved. It made sense.
oh, his Rocket Run. I mean, you can't.
Oh yeah.
His Rocket
Let's see.
Run is maybe one of the most insane books I've ever read, but it's also like a
Mhm.
masterpiece.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. You can promise you can be normal about it and aren't gonna start mourning immediately.
Okay.
Avengers Inc.
Yeah, it's
Just
really good.
everything about it. Yeah.
I wish it had gotten to go on longer, but like
Put the 10
whatever.
issue rule in place until now.
Well, it's
That's over.
so weird until now. Yeah. R.I.P. to the 10-issue rule.
Hmm.
We barely had to.
Everything Ewing did during Krakoa was incredible in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, X-Men Red alone.
Oh yeah. And that Sword was incredible, and I wish it got more chance to breathe without being surrounded by a bunch of random events. Which, in a way, X Men Red was what would happen when it got its room to breathe. Until it didn't, and Fall of X got to all of that. I have a lot of thoughts about Fall of X.
And then like you get a book like Resurrection of Magneto, where on the surface it's like, oh, this is just like the book that's going to bring Magneto back. Like it might be
It's just going to
interesting,
be
but
the
like whatever.
resurrection of Magneto.
But
And then
then
all
like
Ewing
you
just
get
takes
this
four
really,
issues and connects everything in X Men mythos.
yeah. And this is another thing that I always like about Ewing is that he's a very cooperative writer. Because while he's doing that in his books, right, he's connecting like the adversary and the Shadow King. Kieran Gillen's doing basically the same thing, but with the Phoenix, right? So it's this nice
Yeah,
like parallel
it's like
writing.
poetry. It rhymes.
It rhymes. Thank you, George Lucas. Very cool.
They sigh.
Laysai, what the slug? Live slug reaction.
Uh,
Live slug
I miss that
reaction.
slug.
What's he doing?
What's that slug doing in this current economy? That's what I want a TV show about.
How is he paying his bills?
Who's he
Is he
dating?
paying his bills? Is he not paying his bills?
What's he what does he watch in his free time?
You're the lore expert. Is it really true that like they made his species canonically homophobic?
Oh yeah. In Jedi Survivor, you meet a member of his species who's in a gay relationship who's like, yeah, it's really hard for me. My species isn't accepting of people like us. Or
So
isn't
fucking
often
good.
accepting.
See, that's how you deal. Okay, I I don't want to get into it, but it because we'll have a whole segment about it at the end. But that's how you deal with wacky continuity. You make it. You just make it fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, is there anything else you want to yap about? Anything you want to go off, Queen?
Let's see. Nothing I can come up with right now, unless we just want to start talking about how the ending, how Krakoa went from its best part, Destiny of X, to probably the worst, Fall of X, overnight, basically.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay. Broader topic. Why is Marvel editorial repeating the same mistakes of
Over and
editorial from
over
like
and
40,
over and over and
well, of
over
like
and
40
over and
years
over and
ago,
over.
to be specific?
Mhm.
Like, and this is very bold, but I'll say it. Like, the way Cebulski is handling the X Office, and to a lesser extent, Jordan White. However, I'm a lot more forgiving of Jordan White in the now with everything. Um,
Mhm.
the way Cebulski is handling um, like current X Office is echoing a lot of the mistakes that like Shooter and other editors during the Claremont era made. of like not listening to your writers
Mm-hmm.
and not really listening to the fans either, might I add.
Yeah, it's baffling.
It was
You'd
baffling.
think that I don't even have the words. Like you just you'd think that you wanted to be like, okay, have ideas. Can we make the ideas work? And you say, what if instead you did an event about Charles Xavier? Oh, is that going to be important? Is he going to do something? No, but we're
No,
going to
he's
put
gonna
an
get
event
shipped off to a book that's indefinitely delayed. He's gonna get
and
shipped off to a book that might never come out.
but think about it. We'll be able to put an event logo on the cover and sell more, and we'll have an alpha and omega issues that sell more.
By the way, most of those issues are currently in dollar bins, so if you were interested in reading them, if you didn't want to pay
Why
the
would you
money,
be?
I'll let you know.
If
Well,
you're
you
interested in reading them, get better tastes.
get better taste. But I will
Also,
say,
the
like,
fact
it
that
just straight up didn't work. That's okay. This okay. The
Also,
Rage
the
is
fact that
coming
that's
out.
coming right off of Raid on Greymalkin, a crossover that didn't
Well, what
need
do
to
you?
exist.
Why was that considered an event? Why is that an event? Why do you have to buy a separate trade if you want those issues? Do you know about that, by the way?
Oh yeah,
If you
that
get
if you're collecting Uncanny, you have to buy the adjectiveless trade.
literally why? Literally why? That's okay. I'm trying to like be more. I'm like I want to be rageful, but I want to be like direct, so I don't sound like a raving lunatic. Like I want to be like very like
You always do. Don't
precise.
worry.
I do, but I want to try. Because what I'm trying to get at is like, at least in the past, when editors would be like, oh, we're doing this decision for money, at least it would work. That's the biggest problem right now. Is that
Mhm.
X-Men, which is historically been one of the best selling properties at Marvel, regardless of the quality of the books. Look in the 90s, for an example.
Oh boy, the '90s. Do we have to?
regardless of the regardless of the quality, X-Men has usually been a bestseller. Even in like the really
Mhm.
awkward years, like the Rosenberg Uncanny right before
Ooh, what a time that
Krakoa,
was.
even that was selling relatively pretty well,
Oh
all
yeah.
things considered. Now look at X-Men. X-Men is
What if
nowhere near
I?
the
What
top
if
of
I
it.
don't?
Seriously. But like X-Men is nowhere near the top of pull lists the way it used to be. It's nowhere near the top of sales charts. It's not getting any academic, like, or not academic, like critical praise. Like,
Mhm.
um, I don't know. Where's some books that it shipped with simultaneously for a bit? Um,
Hmm.
oh, like, not to keep glazing it, but like the critical praise that like Thompson's Birds of Prey or Condon's
Yes.
Green Arrow was getting while those books were coming out. Guess what got none of that? X-Men.
Mhm.
Not even arguably the books that probably deserved it. Like Mystique probably deserved more attention. That was a great
Ed
series.
Knowles as well.
That probably deserved critical attention. But again, that's part of the issue is that they were flooding. And that's not to say Krakoa didn't flood. You look at like Dawn of X and how many titles they launched during Dawn of X. I don't even think
They
the
launched
problem is that there were
six.
like
I
six, I
think it was
think.
six. I was about to say something that would have caused our younger viewers to go crazy.
Go ahead.
But I thought that was debating if it was six or seven.
Oh, 6 or 7.
That's the funny
Um,
joke. That's the funny number.
but that was something people complained about with Dawn of X is that they launched too many titles at once. And look how that went. All of those books went on to have pretty sizable runs. Like, um, the problem wasn't the number; it was quality. It's always been quality. The starting, oh my god, you want to compare starting lineups? The starting lineup of Krakoa
Oh,
versus the starting lineup of From the Ashes. Oh my god, it's like night and day.
I mean, they're like, if we go by main titles, you go with X-Men versus X-Men, and it's Hickman versus McKay. McKay's a good writer. Well, he's not 2019 Hickman.
Yeah, it's not prime of his life. Hickman over here.
X Force v
Excalibur.
X
There's
Force.
nothing
That's
like
no. That,
Excalibur.
X Force v X Force is no question.
No, no question. There's
Let's see.
nothing like
Marauders was
Excalibur.
doing something new.
Marauders was new and exciting. I like Exceptional. I still think Marauders is the better Kitty Pryde book.
You know what? You know what I'll say? Fallen Angels fits right in with the From the Ashes slates.
Yeah. Fallen Angels is very NYX in both the positives and
Yeah,
the negatives.
the positives being Laura Kinney shows up.
Well, like I thought the stuff they were trying to do with Kanan and her baby was interesting, even if it didn't work well, you know.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
And that's what I'll say about Mojo and Julian in NYX. Like, I don't know if it was successfully
It's a
accomplished.
hungry world.
Hungry.
They're gonna eat you. Yeah.
That's literally Julian Keller's theme song because he did get eaten alive.
Mm-hmm. Arguably, he should have gotten literally eaten alive because then we wouldn't have to deal with him. That's mean.
True.
But
God, we're retreading ground, but like Julian came in to eat Quentin's lunch, and then Quentin just returned even stronger to eat Julian's lunch.
Eat back his own lunch.
Yeah. he made Julian spit out his already eaten lunch, and then
what an image! What a striking image that is. That I'm going to choose to
ignore. It's a powerful image. I don't know. Y'all know me. Like, I don't like being negative, especially like it really does sound like I don't want to say like misled, but it definitely seems like a lot of the authors were promised stuff that didn't end up happening. You know?
Like I think Russell talked about how he was still hoping to have more issues, and so did Thorn. Jeffrey Thorn.
Oh, for X Force, yeah. Yeah, I know he mentioned like X Force got cut super early. But I'm also like, where else could the book have gone? Like,
yeah, they could bring Deadpool back. Wouldn't you be excited to bring Deadpool back?
Oh, you want to talk about some money-making tomfoolery? When they announced that book and Deadpool was on the cover, and everybody was like really talking about like, oh, that'll bring an interesting dynamic. Like, it's a little synergy, but like whatever. And then he's only in that first issue. Like,
yeah, same with Surge only being in that first issue.
Well, that gets more complicated because then it's like, well, yeah, she's in that first issue, but
yeah,
but she's like the driving force of the book.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
That book is weird. It's a weird book. I'll say it. It was a weird book. It was a really weird book.
Yeah.
Do you remember it had
another weird book?
It had Nucleo in it. You remember Nucleo? Or not Nucleo.
It had Nucleo in it.
DC
and it had Tank, who was definitely not Colossus. And don't try and pretend like he's Colossus. Whoa, Tank's Colossus.
So then who the fuck is the Tank that showed up in Miles Morales that one time? Are they just two
different character?
I guess. This is very off topic. This is very off topic. Do you know what sounds delicious right now?
What?
White cheddar popcorn.
Fair enough. Caramel corn?
Yeah. Yeah, I should have paid that $5 to get that bag of popcorn today.
$5 for a bag of popcorn, though. Have more respect for yourself.
Laysai, what the slug?
What else do I have to yap about? I'm gonna say I've been thinking about Mia Dearden a lot. I didn't go off about her that much in the last episode, but then I just went into like every Discord server and I started talking about Mia Dearden. And then the next day, it was announced in Absolute Green Arrow #2 that there would be Absolute Mia Dearden. So I feel like I summoned this.
I was gonna say this is the definition of manifesting. You really did manifest her.
Mm-hmm. It would.
Yeah.
I want you to describe how I reacted because I can't do it. I'm biased.
Oh yeah, you were insane. You were like actually like
Basically
they
jumping up
talk
and
about.
down.
I was gonna say, they talk about how like in ancient like England there was like the festival of like fools or whatever, right? Where you just go like crazy with joy. That was you. You're like festivaling like fool,
I was being whimsical.
You were being whimsy pilled, I will say that. And that's good for you. You deserve some whimsy
Mhm.
pilling in your life.
Yeah.
I'm
To be
excited.
honest,
I'm
just do
pulling,
you.
at least right now, I'm pulling Absolute Green Arrow. I might have to take it off just because
Mhm.
it was too much shit. But I think okay. I was really sad to see the Condon run canceled. I wanted that book to go on for a while. I thought it was
Mhm.
really good. But I will also say that like as much as I liked that book, I don't think it was doing anything like holy shit, we're like rethinking what Ollie can be as a character. And
Mhm.
I'm kind of excited to see that because it seems like DC would rather just like pull him out of the box every couple years, play the hits, and then put him back for a while. So to have something like Absolute Green Arrow that's just like, you know what? Let's get crazy. Let's try something new. Like I'm excited.
Mhm. Like, yeah, why not? It's such a drastic direction. The fact that it seems like Dinah will be the focus, hell yeah. I'm just all around really excited for this book. I already was, and then Mia Dearden got announced to be in it. Yeah.
I'm so
No,
excited.
I was reading the solicit out loud, and you just heard me stop at one point and start banging my fists on the table.
Oh, also Absolute
I wish
Black
it could have
Canary
been
is really
recorded.
hot. She's really hot.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying.
Um, and if you don't think she's hot, I think a little lesser of you. I'm not gonna lie. I do think a little lesser of you.
Wow.
That goes out to some very specific people. You know who you are. I do think lesser of you. Sorry. That's just how it is.
Mhm.
It's like, how could you not? You take one look at that woman, and you're just like, whoa,
What if you're attracted to men? Well, actually,
skill
wait.
issue?
Are you saying that if you don't find her hot, or if you're not attracted to her? Those are different
If you
things.
don't find her hot. If you don't find her hot.
Okay. Because like
If
I
you're
can look
like,
at it, I can look at people I'm not attracted to, like, yeah, they're hot.
yeah,
Let's see. I Absolute Green Arrow has me bouncing off the walls.
it seems so like new and refreshing.
It's doing the character but without blank. Well, it's what if we had Green Arrow but without the life?
Nice.
I'm interested to see if Jabal Slade comes back at all, or if he's just one and done.
Well, and I'm
It
curious.
seems
So, like, it seems like for a while the books have been kind of building up to like a big, like, yeah, we have the Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman crossover, but it seems like for a while they've been building up to a proper like, not necessarily a Justice League, but more like a formal like meeting. And so I'm really curious
Mhm.
how that's going to play into because it seems like the Absolute Green Arrow stuff is going to be really tied into Absolute Evil and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious where it's going to go.
Although Hawkman's already being picked up by Absolute Superman, for
Yes, in
instance.
Absolute Superman, and I've heard that's really good. I need to catch up.
Mhm. The Absolute Universe has had so
Um,
many more hits than misses.
yeah. Well, and even like, okay, you know me, I love clowning on Absolute Batman. I think that's one of the best things you can do as a person is clown on Absolute
Yeah.
Batman. You're a better
Oh,
person
I didn't
for it,
know.
frankly.
What if you recorded an hour long segment of clowning on it?
Exactly. But even that book, I'll say, is at least like I hate to say it. I hate to say anything positive about this book. I do, but like it's feeding a very specific Batman fandom that, like, as much as I don't like them, I don't think they not deserve content. If that makes any sense, like
I do. That's not true.
you're fair for that. No, you're valid.
If Batman has enough already and didn't need to be the flagship Absolute book, then they could have launched it with Absolute Super Wonder Woman.
Well, and it's also weird because, like, kind of like how Ultimate Spider-Man is the air quote flagship book of Ultimate. It's like Ultimate Batman barely is the flagship book.
I'd argue that Absolute Batman is more the flagship book than Absolute Spider-Man was.
Oh, easily, for sure. But I'd still say it's like
the first annual. It got the first crossover. It's getting the first one shots.
Yeah, his specials for some reason.
Could you imagine if like if we say like Absolute Green Lantern and Absolute Batman switched places in the release? Or like the first wave was Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and then Batman didn't get revealed until later on. And there was just an air of mystery, like someone's like, okay, well they're going to have to do a Batman. How are they going to do it? Arguably, that would have made it work because the reveal would have been more underwhelming, but I'd be fine if it was underwhelming because it's a Batman book. It's going to be underwhelming to me no matter what.
Are you excited for Robin?
Not really. I don't know. If I cared about Absolute Batman, then maybe. It seems like they're going to be connected to the Joker, which means that they're connected to the whole Eldritch entity beast baby eating thing. I don't know. I still don't know what's going on with Absolute Joker.
Absolute Joker is somehow both a letdown and overhyped. Does that make sense? Or not overhyped?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. Like, all right, I want to be more positive. I would like to move on to our next segment because all this negativity is really.
That was our mini Batman slander hour, but this episode we're doing something different.
We're doing something different to celebrate the release of Superman, Spider-Man tomorrow. I thought it'd be fun to do some Superman glazing. Let's talk about how much we love the big blue Boy Scout.
He's just a friendly guy.
He's a friendly guy. He's friendly, but not.
Everybody do the best that they can do.
Yeah, but not in a condescending way. Because we've all met that person who's like, "Oh, I expect better," like in like the worst way possible. But Clark isn't like that. Like he genuinely wants you to be better.
Clark will look in the eyes and say, "I know you can do better, and I want to help you do better."
Yeah, like.
And then you're like, "Well, Superman told me I can do better, so I'm not going to say no when Superman."
Okay, it's so cliche, but like the scene from All Star where he talks to that girl off the roof like lives rent free in my head constantly. Like
absolutely,
Clark is the kind of person who would actively be dying and then take time out of your day, out of his limited time on Earth, and like help you out. Like
Clark and Cassandra Cain, I feel like can have very interesting interactions, especially early casts during her "Nobody Dies Tonight" phase. Like, imagine if she was flying around the city doing that, and Clark shows up and asks, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you breaking this criminal out of jail?" She just looks in the eye and says, "Nobody dies tonight." He would break down on the spot and help her.
Like some of my favorite interactions of Clark are with Nightwing. I love how like he has so much pride and like excitement about what the next generation is going to bring. Like whereas I feel like a lot of Batman stories like boil down to Batman being afraid of what happens when he's gone. I think there's almost an excitement for Clark of like I can't wait to see what happens next,
Oh yeah.
And also, like,
not necessarily to be. Well, really, it boils down to Clark. Bruce feels like he's the only one who can do what he does, but Clark has hope for others. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
That's especially when it comes to how they see Dick Grayson. You had something you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, so I think one of the constant things we bring up about why we don't like Batman is that it seems like there's only like a handful of Batman stories, right, that you can really do. And if you don't do them, you just don't have a Batman book, essentially.
Yeah.
Either it gets canceled or people don't like it. What I love about Superman, I honestly can't say I've read the same Superman story twice. Even like you read like origin books, right? They're so different
And they
from
all
one
put a twist
another.
on it.
Yeah,
Even when you're going with every time he deals with Manchester Black, it's something different.
Superman versus the Authority, or Superman and the Authority.
Superman versus the
What's so
Elite.
funny? What's so funny
Yeah,
about
what's
Truth,
so funny?
Justice, and the American Way?
Mm,
Ah,
they're
God, this
completely
whole
different.
segment could just be this whole segment could just be why I'm obsessed with What's So Funny. Like, I love that
You know
issue.
what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell my inner Clark and say you should go drink. You should drink some water.
You should. Oh yeah, it's time for that segment of the show. Hold on, wait, pause. It's time for that segment. Um,
I
I
just
am once
I just drank
again.
myself my water bottle.
I am once again drinking from my overly sized 64-ounce water bottle. Um, I will say, speaking of the topic of water, um, and I know, considering how much we both talked about our caffeine addictions on the show, this is funny. This is bad to say. This is a
Yeah.
little, this is a little
Is
hypocritical.
this what I think it
But
is?
guys, don't put excessive amounts of flavoring into your water. Don't make your water all sugary, or like do
Oh, this is not what I thought it is. Okay, I feel better
Oh,
now.
what did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna talk about the weekend when you mentioned energy drinks and caffeine.
Oh no, I'm not gonna expose you like that on national television.
I am that I talked about Monster Energy in like 30 seconds to a minute.
I was with somebody for 4 years who drank Monster like water, and they never drank Monster as fast as you do. Let that sink in.
Why? It's not that cold outside. We're getting to the warm weather part of the year. I see no issue here. It was the first thing I'd had to drink all day.
That's fair, I guess.
Is that what you're gonna say that makes it worse?
It freaked me out. It was scary.
And to be fair, it did take closer to 2 minutes, but 75% of the time was me sitting around in between the two sips.
Yeah.
The two
You
sips.
could. Oh,
I
you
finished the
easily.
regular
Yeah, and
red
the fact
Monster.
that you did it in 2 sips. Yeah.
You know who would be proud of me for that? Superman. He'd see that and be like, "Way to go, kid."
He'd be like, "Cause you're a monster chugger." Yes, you are.
Maybe try a water next time, though.
Yes, try water. But back to what I was saying, real quick before we get back to Clark. I know people are like, "Oh, but I don't like the flavor of regular water, so like I just put my little like shot of whatever." You're ruining the whole point of the water because that has like sugar and all these long chemical names that you don't need to be putting in your body. I know, I've been there.
What,
I don't.
what if I can pronounce them and draw them? Are they okay then?
Well, you have a tactical advantage in that sense.
A tactical advantage?
I don't know how else to describe it.
Is like Pokemon?
Like,
That
yeah, it's
major
like your
beats.
stat
That
bonus.
major.
Yeah, it's like
That major beat. Some majors are very. It beats long chemical names and it beats whimsy and joy.
yeah, you like. I think you have the advantage. But like seriously, like like I get it. Like water doesn't taste like anything. That's okay. Like that's kind of the whole point. Like it's just water.
You know what it does do?
Uh,
Keeps you
mhm.
alive.
It keeps you alive, yes. And if you want to be strong like Superman, see what I did there. You need to drink your water.
That was a whole
Uh,
tangent
yes, that
and a
was
half, probably.
and a half. Why don't we pivot back to soups? We've kind of already been doing it, but are there any other like Superman stories that you really like that you want to shout out?
Let's see. For all seasons, I think has to be mentioned.
Oh, for sure.
Right, so Kryptonite.
I was gonna go to Crypt. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Oh,
Yeah.
Kryptonite is so good. Kryptonite is so
Anything that
good.
recontextualizes Clark's relationship with the Krypton while he's on Earth and dealing with how he can remember it is going to be not always good because sometimes it's to John Byrne Man of Steel. I feel like
Yeah.
it is a good starting point to make a good story.
I would also throw well, All Star, yeah, for sure. Um, I was gonna say I'm a really big fan of. I think it's called Adventures of Superman. I think that's the title. Uh, Basically, during New 52, they noticed that a lot of people were complaining about how different Superman was. So, Adventures of
Yes.
Superman is just an anthology book of a bunch of your favorite writers doing classic Superman stories. Like, there's a really good Jeff Lemire one. I think Bruno Redondo does at least the art for one of the
Is the Jeff
stories.
Lemire one by any chance about his relationship with Pa Kent?
It definitely is a like, oh, I'm going back to Smallville and I'm hanging out with my fam.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Jeff Lemire does best, so can't blame him.
Hold on, let me look up for some other big names on this book. It's just really fun because like it just comes from a place of like, man, I miss like fun Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You
In
know?
a similar vein, Red, White, and Blue.
Yes. Yeah,
They're all,
2013 to
it's good.
2014.
Okay.
I think this is the right one. Yes. Sorry, the covers look really weird. Um, Chris Samney of Daredevil fame.
Ooh.
Riley Rossimo, who I really like. Um,
Yeah, everything I've read of his has been really good, just except for his art in the Tim Drake Robin book did not work, but everything else has been incredible.
J.M. DeMatteis does a story in this book.
First, yeah.
Um, Michael Oeming, who was a long-time collaborator with Brian Michael Bendis. Let's see, where's some other?
Other good Superman runs. The Williamson's been doing a pretty kick-ass job since Dawn of DC.
Yeah, I'm quick to tease Williamson for his less good stuff, but man, Superman's been pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'll say
uh,
the Gail Simone backups in Action Comics from what, a year or two ago.
oh yeah. Well, and then there was that whole what is it, the Superstars initiative or whatever?
That,
Like the G.
that
Will
was part of that.
Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep, that was part of that.
like
Wait,
that's
was this
good.
Simone? I might be thinking of G. Willow Wilson was doing them. I don't think Simone did.
Are you thinking about the climate change storyline?
I'm not sure what I'm thinking about anymore. That's what happens when it gets
That's
to
fair.
11 p.m.
That's fair.
But just so many good writers all getting a little chance to do their own one little story. Jason Aaron did a pretty good Bizarro story in that.
Well, and I was going to say to bring this full circle to what we were talking about earlier, the work that Jason Aaron has been doing with Absolute Superman. I mean, really bringing the character back to his roots as like a working man's
Mhm.
hero, you know, like, and you
Which really
see that like
most superheroes should be, but
Yeah. Well, and like the migrant story, right? Like,
Yeah,
whether we like to admit it or
especially
not,
topical today.
yeah, especially yeah, oh God, yeah. Um, it's just good. Honestly, I think this is one of the best times to be a Superman fan. Like, obviously, I'm not in that scenario, but like, hypothetically, if I was only pulling Superman books, I'd be like thrilled right now between action. Oh, Unlimited. We didn't even talk about you know again.
Mhm.
I much like Williamson. I'm very quick to clown on Dan Slott, but like Unlimited, from what I've read, is good. It's just not for me.
Mhm.
Uh,
Anything else we want to glaze?
oh my God. Okay, before we move on to the final one, the Philip Kennedy Johnson War World saga. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah. I knew you were going to
Yeah,
mention it.
yeah, it's good. It's really good. And you get to read Superman and the Authority before you read that, and that's one of my favorite Grant Morrison books.
It's one of those books that takes the worst of 5G and makes it into something good.
Yeah, it's like actually good 5G. Well, okay, I think we're all mature enough to admit, like 5G wouldn't have been terrible. There's some
Oh, yeah.
parts that would have. There's some parts that would have.
There's part of me that almost wishes the absolute universe is just what if 5G continued,
I'd fuck with that.
or like just to make add in even just an oversized graphic novel of here's like what the first year of 5G would have been.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's one of those things where like it would have done irreparable damage to some characters and some storylines, but others it would have lifted into places that they can only dream of now, and it'd be interesting to see that. And then if they wanted, they could always pull a New 52. They could always pull a New 52 Rebirth Superman thing and merge them in. It would be complicated, and everyone would hate them. So like getting a developed DRO4, I can think of worse things.
yeah, like I don't know, like I think people are really quick to judge. I mean, like nothing looks like a pitch, right? By the time you get the final product, like nothing looks like a pitch. So like who knows what 5G could have been.
On the topic of Superman, nothing looks like the pitch. Skyrocket.
Skyrocket,
I would have loved it if we got that.
great pitch.
It's
Um
it needed to go through like it's one more two more stages of refining, but that's what happens when you have a pitch.
that's how a pitch works, yeah.
Anyone Superman glazing?
I think we're good to move on to um
The
our
last
final
stage.
segment.
What's continuity? Why do we love it? Why do we hate it? Why is it both at once?
So okay, so I've been thinking a lot about continuity because I've been reading a lot of stuff that like I would describe as like anchors of continuity. I've been reading Marvel history. I've been reading a lot of Al Ewing stuff, and like sometimes you read a book and you're like, I don't know if this book is supposed to be an actual story or if it's more for the purpose of like this is what continuity is, and that's what those books feel like. Not even in like a bad way. Like sometimes like you just do need to do the work of like this is what's canon, this is what's not canon. Um, but then you read something like what we read this morning, excuse me, this afternoon. What did we read this afternoon? What did we read this afternoon?
Avengers 1,000,000 BC.
We did. We read
Where do
Avengers
we
One
start
Million
with
BC.
that?
Uh, it's bad? Question mark.
It, if it tried to go out of its way to contradict more, it would be challenging to do that.
Yes.
It already contradicted so much that Like, what did it? What didn't it contradict? Odin's origin, I guess.
I guess. Well, but then that also kind of gets to like something I want to get into. While we talk about this, it's like okay, so like yes, that book is terrible and it contradicts a lot of pre-established continuity. But also that book, what? That came out in 2019, 2018?
I thought it was going like 2021.
My point being is that it's been out for a while and nobody really cares. And I'm saying that as a positive.
Yes.
I think that's the correct. Um,
Oh yeah.
that is the
Could you
correct way
imagine
to
if
approach
people
it.
cared and this all had to get integrated into these characters permanently, in these
Oh, that would suck.
mantles permanently?
That would actually be terrible. Um, like, um, like, yes. Sorry, I'm like thinking about this book. Like, almost gives me a brain aneurysm because I'm just so like, why
Mm-hmm.
was it such a big deal? Why was it like? That's the other thing is that like,
He was writing Avengers,
yeah,
and they let the Avengers writer kind of do whatever. The Phoenix tournament. Remember the Phoenix tournament?
yeah. Well, and then like the whole thing, like the Age of Khonshu.
Nope, that didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But again,
The
okay, but then
multiversal matches of evil.
here's an interesting thing though with continuity, and I think both you and I can talk about this, but with our blorbos, sometimes bad things in continuity can lead to great stories. I don't like Age of Khonshu. I think it's a bad book. But without Age of Khonshu, we wouldn't have the Jed McKay run because the Jed McKay run is dealing with the consequences of Age of Khonshu, and I love the Jed McKay run.
Mm-hmm. I'd argue that
And I
basically
think that
everything Stephanie Brown has been in was kind of making the most of a bad situation.
oh, absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
well, and then like you know, you look at like characters who are like sort of defined by their suffering. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Spider-Man, right? Like
Oh boy.
with Spider-Man, it gets really weird because on the one hand, like yeah, it's kind of integral to the character that he's been through a lot. So like you can't get rid of, uh like what's a good word for it? Like I don't know, like okay, to borrow from the film, you have like canon events, right? Like they talk about in
Yeah.
across the Spider-Verse. And at some point I even think the film kind of points this out. Like it gets kind of absurd how much like dumb shit has happened to Peter
Mm-hmm. And it's just
over
expected
the
to
years
happen. He's Spider-Man.
because he's Spider-Man. But also like yeah, as dumb as that is, like I don't want to get rid of any of it because I do think
Mm-hmm.
like that is what kind of marks him as a character. And it's why when they fuck around with that kind of stuff, it usually gets retconned. Case in point, when they tried to say that Gwen had slept with Norman Osborn, and we were like, no, you can't touch that story. Like that's a
Yeah. That's Gwen Stacy. You can't do this to her.
yeah, you can't do that. So then we retcon that fucking Mysterio took one for the team.
Mysterio.
Thank you, Mysterio. We appreciate you. One of the very few times that it was an illusion the whole time was actually very much appreciated.
Mhm. It's a rare occasion.
Sometimes it's like,
Are
yeah,
there
I
any
do want to
others?
pretend that didn't happen.
Any other times
Uh,
when you go, it's just an illusion. It's better.
one of the Donna Troy origins, right? Like one of the bad ones.
Uh,
Didn't they pull that?
kind of. Donatoy is never makes sense. I'm not even going to answer
Well,
that.
you want to talk about continuity.
Donatoy and continuity do not go together.
Donna Troy continuity isn't real. It can't hurt you. Donna Troy continuity.
Ooh. Donna Troy, I love you, but man, she does not have her shit together. I love her. She makes no sense.
I
Sorry,
agree.
I'm on the Donna Troy at all.
No, I mean I love Donna too. It just sucks that she is of all characters just in a weird spot continuity wise.
Mhm.
Um, I'm sure everybody knows it, but like you even look at like the circumstances around her creation, right? And it's like
Oh
in
yeah,
a way she's like a continuity anomaly.
but has gone on to have her own continuity anomalies. It's like she's like a proud parent, really. Well, except that her
Yes.
kid. We're not going to talk about that.
Is yeah.
Donna
Um,
Troy.
well, like I think she also exemplifies like one of my favorite things that you can do with continuity is that like okay, what's like a good example? Like okay,
From Say Fuck
um,
Bay.
well you can just be like, you know what? Yeah, that happened, but it sucks. So we're gonna just like try and do something new. Like
Mhm.
if a book has a bad ending and it either doesn't have a sequel or it doesn't, you know, whatever. That's just how it is, right? Like no matter how many times you read of Mice and Men, Lenny's gonna die at the end. Like
Wait,
you know,
what?
there's nothing you can
Saying
do.
I can't reread it and they'll change?
Nope, it's stuck like that.
Hmm.
But with
I'm
ongoing
gonna read it again to find
continuity,
out.
well, you should. It's a great. It's that's one of my favorite
Oh
books.
yeah.
Um, but with like ongoing continuity, you have this really fun sort of like I don't know if gray area is the right word for it, but like you know,
Mhm.
nothing is like set in stone in that same way.
Yeah.
Um,
When are we gonna start having bad leading up continuity that we need to ignore?
is there anything currently canon to leaking out that shouldn't be canon?
Good question for the fans.
That is a good question for the fan. Let us know in the comment section down below.
Anything else we want to add?
I think I'm good to wrap up. I will just
I
say,
am too.
um, I think you know it's easy to say like reboot this, reboot that, but like it's also fun to be like, yeah, this is kind of like a weird situation. Let's work through it. Let's try to figure out like what to do next and that sort of
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah. The
Um,
limitations imposed by continuity are as interesting as the things that get left behind.
and at the end of the day, I do subscribe to the Jonathan Hickman philosophy of continuity. What's
The toy
canon, you
box.
might ask? What's canon, you might ask? Whatever people enjoy. Do you like it? Great.
Yeah.
Is it canon? It's canon. Do you not like it? Great. It's not canon. Like
Mhm. Can
they're
we work with it?
they're
Sure, it can be canon.
at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they're comedic books. You know that's where comic from comes from. They're comedic
They're for
books.
fun.
So
If you're not having fun, then what's the point?
yeah,
And with that,
I think that's
have fun reading
yeah.
comics. Have fun listening to people talk about comics. Do what you enjoy.
As always, this is Thorn saying, um, Please don't read Jason Aaron's Avengers.
This is Laney saying, read Jason Aaron's Avengers so that you can tell Thorn how bad it was and that they were right.
Oh, I do like being right. All right, toodles.
Adios.